Well, Kotak Mahindra Bank is all set to declare its Q3 FY22 numbers on Friday. And let's take a quick look at what our poll signifies and what kind of expectations they are putting out. Well, net interest income is expected to come in at 8.3% growth when we look at it on a year-on-year basis. But when we look at it sequentially, that's a 4.5% jump. It's going to expected to be coming in at around 4,200 odd crores. The other income number will see a 47% year-on-year jump. Of course, that increase continues largely due to fee-based income. And when we even look at it quarterly, sequentially, that will be a 4.25% rise when we look at it from Q2 versus Q3. PPOP is expected also to trend in the same direction, up around 5% sequentially, around 13% year on year. And what will actually deflate PAT will be provisions. Now, provisions are expected to trend higher for Kotak Bank in the current quarter. So provisions are expected to come in between that 550 to 580 crore mark, and that will see provisions go up by around 37 to 38% when we look at it on a sequential as well as on a year-on-year basis. But that will mean that PAT will come lower. When we look at it sequentially, it will be absolutely flat, and PAT will grow around 10% on a year-on-year basis. That's expected to come in at 2,030 crores. Well, gross and net NPAs will trend pretty much flat to lower. The gross NPA number is expected to trend around 10 bips lower, while the net NPA is also around that region. 3.1% is what gross NPAs are expected to be at. Net NPAs around the 1% mark, and that will see ROA at around 1.9%. Last quarter, it was at around 2% ROA. Well, NIMs are expected to come in between the 4.45 to 5% mark. And credit costs are expected to normalize a bit just below that 1% mark. In terms of the balance sheet, well, advances and deposit growth is expected to be strong broadly. Advances growth is expected to be broad-based, but that's a 16.3% growth we are factoring in advances when we look at it on a year-on-year basis. Strong growth in advances. And when we look at it even quarterly, that's a 6% uptick we will be looking at quarterly. And if that happens, some commentary around how broad-based that growth is will obviously become relevant. When we look at the deposit side of things as well, deposits are expected to grow 12.3% year-on-year, a healthy uptick there, but 2.1% when we look at it quarter on quarter. And a large chunk of those deposits will come from the underlying CASA. Well, Kotak Mahindra Bank has market-leading CASA at the moment. 61% CASA is what it currently has, and that is set to continue. The strong CASA will mean credit costs will continue to trend lower, and some commentary around that will also be expected. When we look at how unsecured lending growth will happen, some commentary around that, as well as, mind you, Kotak Mahindra Bank is still in the running for Citi's retail assets. So that will be some other commentary which market participants will be looking out for with regard to Kotak.